Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of Stroth Consultech, having been running this company for last 5 years, focusing on small and medium businesses for their growth. And with this Hatke interview series that we have, we've been talking to various industrial personalities, leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, and we have great honors to have Shailesh Vaidya today with us. So
Yeah,
welcome, Shailesh, on this
thank
platform.
you. Thank you, Shirish.
Great.
Yeah.
So, Shailesh has got a completely different type of path that he has followed. He's dabbled into a number of businesses, kind of ventured into it, done it, been successful, and turn it around. Now he's focusing on solar energy, and definitely would like to know more about your path and journey. Pretty exciting, as I was hearing.
Okay.
Shailesh, could you quickly go through the journey, please?
Sure. So I'll start from the beginning in all the things which we have been doing in the last nearly 28 years of business now.
Mm-hmm.
So basically a graduate from Pune, software graduate, and in 1992 when I was doing engineering, me and a friend of mine from college called Kiran, we started our first company because we hardly used to go to college that time, and we were pretty much sure we would be unemployable. So we had to find something on our own to
And that
do.
was in third year of your engineering, right?
Third year of engineering,
Oh,
1990.
wow.
So we had to do in the format at that time, we had to do a 1 year project. So
Mm.
my project, because I'm a software engineer, my project was a image processing software for looking at slides from a microscope. So we connected a video camera to a computer and got the live video on the screen. And we designed software to analyze that image for impurities.
Right.
This was pretty interesting for people who were in computers back then. There was DOS-based system, so to have a video image and all that was pretty challenging then. And
Okay.
Kiran is a mechanical engineer, so his engineering project was a hardness testing machine, typically
Okay.
used in the automobile or steel sector.
Mm.
And since both the end customer for this is a metallurgy testing laboratory in a steel company or in an automobile company, we decided to form a company together, which was in college. We didn't know anything about finance or anything. So we started a partnership company
Mhm.
and called Chroma Systems and decided to market these two products in that company. So it took a lot of time and a lot of mistakes for us to learn on how to make a product, how to package it, how to sell it, how to do marketing. But yeah, I mean, finally we ended up growing Chroma to be one of India's largest companies in metallurgical testing
Wow.
in 20 years that we ran that company. And then we have now exited that company. We don't have that company anymore. So we handed it over to some other bunch of professional people who are
Hmm.
now taking care of all the systems which we supplied. So and that was on Chroma Systems. While doing this in 2000 during the dot-com bust, dot-com rise and fall,
Mm.
we also did a small dot-com called Family to Net, which was basically many families coming together to share photos. Something like Facebook, but 4 5 years before Facebook. And since we
Okay.
didn't know anything about the potential that time, we ran that site for about 4 months. We got about 80,000 active users in
Oh.
2000 year, and then we sold it off quickly to one pharma company which wanted to buy that. That company also ran it for I think 6 months, and then I don't know what happened to the site, but that was a good opportunity which was there in for our brief affair with .com, you can say.
Hmm.
Then in 2004 we had in our workshop we had a manual lathe and a milling machine, and we wanted CNC automation done, but CNC machines were very costly. So what me and Kiran thought was that we should develop a six-axis PC-based controller, which will control motors. And if we can replace the handles on that manufacturing machine with motors, we can automate the whole process to reduce cycle times and reduce mistakes. So we designed a six-axis CNC controller for our own use. But then many people visiting us for looking at the image analysis products asked us why aren't we selling this as a separate product. So our office right from the beginning, when we started this Chroma Systems, is on a very commercially busy main road in Pune called Senapati Bapat Road. So
All right.
there's no place to get milling machines there and lathes there. So we got a very interesting business model where, let's say, there is a small workshop in Coimbatore or Rajkot or somewhere. We used to ask the customer to take photos of his lathe machine from 5 6 different angles and email it to us. And we used to take dimensional data by image processing using on those photos
My
And
God.
we used to make this electromechanical system with the controller and everything and ship
Based
it
on
to his
those,
based
based
on
on
those
those.
motors.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then we used to ship this to his place, and in one day change his manual machine to a CNC kind of machine.
Wow.
Which was a phenomenal business model because it didn't require us to do a lot of rework or anything. And the bottleneck was the accuracy of the system because CNC system means customers expect a lot of
Absolutely.
accuracy.
Mm.
We actually used to get a contract signed with the customer before the production began that what we are promising is not improvement in accuracy. We are promising improvement in cycle time,
Cycle time.
repeatability. So
Mhm.
which when this is made clear to the customer, customers are very happy because anyway they're happy with the accuracy of their lathe. So this is just improving their quality of life by improving the cycle time and dependence on labor. So in the next 6 years, from 2004 to 2010, we sold about maybe more than 1,000 systems all over India,
Mhm.
and then we exited that company as well. That got us interested in renewable space. So we were wondering what to do in renewable energy. So
Mhm.
me and Kiran identified a technology called concentrator photovoltaic, which was a high concentration technology, which required
Mm.
some kind of optical design like a magnifying glass to concentrate sunlight onto a very high efficiency photocell. So
Okay.
in the next 3 years after that, we poured all our life savings into that. Where I had a flat in Naund where I used to stay. So we sold the flat, we sold my car, and typical entrepreneur's story. And we invested a lot of time and money in that technology. But in 2013, when China decided to enter solar, the
Uh,
module prices of regular PV, like the ones you see behind me, those prices crashed quite a lot, more than 50%. So though
oh.
the technology we were working in was technically very exciting, commercially it wasn't making sense suddenly. So that was like a up and down which happens in business due to unknown, uncontrollable factors. So we both being pretty pragmatic, we decided should we still continue pursuing this or should we move on to something else?
Mm.
So move on was the option. And what to do? I mean, building up on all the work we had done in 20 years on motion control and in metallurgy and things like that, we decided to capitalize all that and develop a single axis tracker for solar panels.
Mm.
Single axis tracker is essentially a product which functions like a sunflower, if I can make it simple. A sunflower basically moves east to west every day. So
Okay.
the panels you see behind me, they are pointing eastwards right now, but they will move from east to west in the whole day automatically. And that keeps the sun perpendicular to the panels, which,
Basically, they will track the sun and they will move up
yeah,
their
right.
side. Okay.
So they keep the sun perpendicular, and the same panels which generate whatever efficiency, they generate about 20% more power because they are just perpendicular to the sun. So which has a very strong business case for a person who is putting in a solar plant. And that's when we started our latest venture called Scorpius Trackers in 2012-13.
Mm.
And that's what we are full time pursuing now, me and Kiran.
Oh. See, about the tracker, how do you get that the sun is here or there? Is it based on the strength that you get, or how do you find out a perpendicular direction?
No, so in our electronic system which we have developed, there is a GPS in it. The GPS connects to a satellite and gets the latitude, longitude, date, and time. And
Oh,
using these parameters, the algorithm calculates the angle of the sun. Because
okay.
so, and then the motor is moved, and the linear actuator then moves the panels, and lots
It's
of things happen.
amazing, amazing technology, and I believe that this company is ranked 10th in the world, right? In
Yeah, I
2017.
mean, it's been a good journey. So India, we are the only known tracker, bankable tracker company, and globally, yeah, we have guys in US and Europe, and one or two in maybe one in China. But yeah, from India, we are the only company.
And they talk about this single axis and then array tracker, and what is this complexity?
So array tracker means you see behind me there are many rows of modules which are kept together,
Okay.
and they are moved by pulling one central beam which is connecting all the rows together. So if you can imagine this being like a Venetian blind, you pull one string and all of them move, left or right. So array tracker means it's like an array of rows which is moving by a single control. Whereas in a second type of tracker, there are only two types of trackers. So array tracker and row tracker. In a row tracker, individual rows have got a separate motor, whereas in an array tracker, there is only one mechanism which moves many rows at the same time. So there are both these
Okay.
philosophies in tracking.
Super. You being kind of always trying to touch and expand your boundaries, I believe, in whatever space that you are in. be in college, expand it, start a business right then and there itself. Be in metallurgy, expand it, be the leader across, be in solar, reach the top 10.
Yeah.
So, how do you see, Indian entrepreneurs? What is the message for Indian entrepreneurs? Like, where do you start? Where does it get conceptualized that you want to be there and you be there in 10 years, 5 years? How do you do that?
So frankly, typically an entrepreneur, at least talking about me and Kiran, I can confidently say that we never had an aim that we need to be here or be there or what product we would do. We had a long list of things which we were not good at. I mean, we didn't know what we would get good at, but we definitely knew what we were not good at. So we had a long list of things not to do. For example, both of us were initially when we started off, we were from the technical side. So both of us knew that we would not be good at finance or we would not be good at XYZ. We would not be good at designing brochures or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So any entrepreneur needs to know what he's not good at. What he's good at obviously will pan out as in when he takes effort. In India, typically, we see a lot of entrepreneurs coming up on the services side, but I would really like to see a lot of good ideas becoming commercially successful on the product side because manufacturing is kind of not very innovative in India. We have a lot of manufacturing, but there's no innovation there. I mean, companies have research budgets and all that, but they don't mean anything. Nobody does actually hardcore research. People just do, tweaking around Western products to slightly improve them here and there. But
I think you hit the point there. Services is something that is run of the mill. Product is a different ball game. Even if you take it in IT space where everything is virtual, still I believe there are maybe some products that you will see from India who are making it to the global arena. But then further, this mechatronics product would be further challenging, right? I mean, how do you think that you applied your thought process to really get there? And competition, say from Germany, Spain, USA, I think they are the ones who are definitely there, right? Been there.
Right.
So how do you think that you compete with global giants?
So it's relatively easy to compete. You should not get scared when developing a product. I mean, to give you an example, when me and Kiran developed our first machine vision systems and the image processing and all that, we were kids out of college. So we had no idea on manufacturing or how to do things properly or whatever. So one simple thing is like we wanted a slide, a microscope slide, and we wanted two very small parallel lines etched on that slide. And we asked around and in the industry to find out how we could get that etching done. And many people told us laser this, laser that, and we didn't even have 10 rupees at time to spend on lasers or anything. So, I mean, just general knowledge is the fact that a spider's web, the single strand of a spider's web is thinner than or stronger than a steel wire when compared in the same diameter, thickness, or whatever. So, in the first few slides which we did, in which we wanted parallel lines, we had two strands of spider webs stuck like this, parallel to each other. So, they are very thin and they are very sturdy. And they solved the purpose. So some kind of weird, I mean, we never told that to the people who were actually using those slides because they would have never entertained using spider webs. But any kind of innovative thinking has to be done. R&D in India is very easily possible very cheaply because there's a tremendous small scale sector in the country. So you should just have a budget and the mindset to break things. If you are able to do that, I think developing a product is not very difficult in India, and especially in a place like Pune, which is like an automobile hub. You have everything in Pune, right from castings, forgings, electronics, automobile components, everything. So it's really not difficult to do R&D in Pune at a very low cost. It can be done.
I think what you're saying is getting an idea and having that enough passion and conviction. You would have definitely done good amount of assessment, right, in Indian context, in a global context, before you venture into any idea, right? Is that something that you do as a due diligence for the idea?
So the first idea which we did, my image analysis project, was actually something which me and Kiran we used to visit exhibitions, trade shows. And this is a product which we saw from a German manufacturer called Carl Zeiss. So he was having an image analysis system. And there's a Japanese company called Shimadzu, which was having a micro analysis system. We actually got the product idea from there. And then we developed systems which ended up performing much better than those systems. And also, to give you an example, since we had no idea on the costing, as I said, kids out of college, no idea how to price a product. So the first customer we thought of approaching in Pune was Bharat Forge, our local forging company here. And when those guys asked us to submit a quotation for the image analysis software, we had no idea how to price it. But in the exhibition, we knew that Carl Zeiss was pricing their software at 6 lakhs that time. In 1993, 6 lakhs was a huge amount. But we thought that our software is much better, so we should price it at 8.5 lakhs. This might be some Puneri attitude or whatever, but we priced it 25% more than Carl Zeiss. And we actually ended up convincing Bharat Forge to buy our software. At that time, actually, it entailed me and Kiran going to Bharat Forge for 9 months every day, carrying the computer, the monitor, and the CPU on our bikes like this. So I used to sit behind Kiran carrying the monitor and computer because Bharat Forge didn't have a computer in their metallurgy lab. So we had to actually go there with the computer and show them that this system will actually do their job for them. And 9 months this happened. So we actually ended up developing the software working with a metallurgist, which made the software very nice. But yeah, I mean, if enough effort goes into doing something, I'm sure the ecosystem is there to support it in India. People just don't want to do the pain or go through the pain nowadays to develop a product. So it's a tough thing to do. Yeah.
Do you see, if we talk about an incubation center where, we get things provided from ideation to realization, like you have everybody to support you.
Yeah.
So do you think that is a good idea in a context for products like, and it is mostly maybe research centric, nano centric, IT centric, technology centric kind of projects that you will see in various incubation centers, say NCL or Pune University or any other place?
I think generally they are a good idea, but the ones which I have seen in India at least work very strictly on the concept of a fixed budget for R&D. And normally, because we have done a lot of tech development in the last 28 years, we can't always stick to a budget, and we can't always have a fixed 6 months mein itne rupees mein karke do. That doesn't work in R&D. So flexibility should be allowed in a incubation center. Then it will definitely be a very worthwhile idea. I mean, the reason why incubation centers in universities in US or in private sector in the West do much better is they are much more flexible and forgiving for mistakes which are made during R&D. Here, to avoid a mistake, people go very slow in developing the perfect product. So it doesn't work out always.
Wonderful, Bharat. So
that's the issue.
Do you have a vision of setting up something? I believe your heart goes there, I believe, for idea brainstorming, getting new ideas. Is that something that you are envisaging as a future?
Not thinking about Scorpios, we have all the free time to think about weird ideas. So that we always keep on doing. Thinking is free. So yeah, we keep on thinking of ideas. Currently, there's no bandwidth to do a new business because these businesses are just taking off for us. I think solar is a booming space. So we'll carry this ahead till we have some new ideas or some new path to this company. And then let's see.
I believe you must be generating at least 1 or 2 ideas in a day. I believe just close your eyes and 2, 3 ideas are with you.
Yeah, I mean, new things do come up. I mean, the ideas are not restricted to solar. They might be in growing mushrooms to, some website idea or something. So all kinds of ideas do come.
Excellent. I believe you must be also connected with the younger world in the form of industry, academia kind of interaction. Are you formally connected with that kind of a forum where you give that back to academia?
Yeah, so my college is PICT, which is Pune Institute of Computer Technology in Pune. A brilliant, superb college. So I go there quite often, at least twice a year for their project program where the 4th year people exhibit their projects. Or they sometimes ask me to interact with their students for some entrepreneurship or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm in touch with my old college on that front. And all the young people which we get in our Scorpios are also very energetic and nice young engineers from colleges in and around Maharashtra. So it is always fun to interact with young guys.
Super. It's how much of threat that you say from China. Now China in this pandemic, as we get to the main topic, is no more, maybe no more competition. I might be wrong in this also, but in your view, does China remain prominent, or is already moved out of the game?
No, I think short term it is difficult to have smooth flow of materials from China. I think after 6 months to a year, if everything is okay on the borders, people will forget about the border issue, and the commercial aspect will take over, and people will start again importing from China like usual. Uh, I think China is not a risk anymore because in the last 6 years, at least in our solar space, though China was very aggressive with prices earlier, now we see that steel is procured at much better pricing and with much better quality in India itself. So a company like Scorpius, which is a pure Indian, 100% Indian technology company, our reliance will be to see whatever we can best source in India as far as possible. Shorter cycle times and a lot of industries available here, and there's nothing which we do which is very difficult to make or anything like that. So China will still be around, of course, but in terms of technology threat to us in particular, there is no such fear right now. It's all okay.
But typically, if I see the track that you have exited, right? I mean, idea is there, you get it to the level. How is this is extremely difficult and maybe interesting question I have in my mind, that it's a baby that you're growing, right? I mean, how do you exit? I mean, it is pretty difficult, right? Or is it something that you have thought through before?
So I mean, the reason why we exited our ventures has not always been to sell off, make money, and retire. It is for various reasons. So, for example, the CNC business which we exited, or the image analysis business which we tempered down, was because that business had hit its kind of top limit of growth in
Okay.
India. So we were, let's say, doing a couple of crores a year of revenue, but the image analysis system which we sold to, for example, Hero Honda, now that system, our systems are in there working in most of the two-wheeler companies in India. So Hero Honda, TVS, Bajaj, Yamaha, etc. They're working in all the tractor companies, most of the steel companies. But having installed there now, Bharat Forge is still using our system which we installed now 24 years ago.
Oh,
Nothing have that system. So point is that one buys kind of, I mean, that client is gone. So it's got a very niche market, but limited market. So the reason to exit or move away from that venture was to have something which will grow into something much bigger. So, uh, and now let's say we want to grow Scorpius, and which is a tracker company which we are talking about now, and we want to get in some investor later in the next couple of years or something. It'll be to kind of have a win-win situation for both the investor, which will help us scale much faster outside India, because scale outside India requires a different kind of skill set, which, like me and Kiran have always said, we don't have right now. We will have as a group working with somebody else, or we need to get in a team which will get that skill set. So there is a kind of strategic action which might or may not happen in the coming times. So investment or selling a company is not always to do with money and retiring. It can be for any kind of reason, to do with growth, to do with market, to do with whatever else. But you have to be emotionless about it. You can't say that this is my company. I mean, that concentrator solar company which we started, we literally poured all our money and heart and blood into it. And just because some other country lowered the prices, it was a very difficult decision, or you can say very easy decision for us, which we took in 7 days time. That continue pursuing this or just move on. So we are pretty okay with those kind of decisions.
Good. Just coming to a different kind of question, Scorpius. Does that name indicate something related with solar, or some thought process behind that?
Actually not. Me and Kiran are pretty bad at thinking of names. So we were just thinking, since we are going to be tracking a star in this company, tracking the sun, it should be some star sign. And since we knew our technology would be pretty good when it got developed, we wanted some aggressive star sign as the name. So Scorpio seemed to be one of the aggressive names.
Super, super. Excellent, excellent. Right.
Yeah.
In the US context, you see, there are standard platforms like Shark Tank, where investors are sitting and
Yeah.
you get new ideas getting presented and then they take a decision. Do you think that is some
Right.
forum that we should have in India also, or you are
Yeah, and
having
it'd be
access?
very interesting. Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of wonderful ideas when I go to my college to be a judge of these fourth year competitions. And some of the ideas are brilliant. But what happens to them afterwards, no one knows, because those students then get caught in the rut of, applying for MS or applying for whatever, better education or just go for better jobs. So people don't pursue ideas that aggressively here. But yeah, Shark Tank kind of forum will be brilliant in India.
Superb. Now, Scorpius is also moving in a northward direction where you see around 50 crores of top line is already hit.
Yeah.
From there, how do you see it being a global company having projects across maybe multi megawatt projects already established? And this, rolling back 3 months and you see a pandemic. So, do you see that
Yeah.
as a slowdown for your business, lockdown, or how do you look at this situation?
Yeah, so I mean, very nice question. Basically, a industry like ours, which is into manufacturing and has a
Mm,
lot of dependency on site teams who are installing the plants or
right.
a lot of material movement which has to happen. The pandemic has just stopped all work,
Mm,
zero. It's not like a IT company where something kind of keeps on happening. So in our company, literally, we are just last 4 months restricted to just chatting with a few customers on email or Zoom. But otherwise,
mm,
work-wise, it was manufacturing-wise or installation-wise, it was zero for March,
true,
April, May, June
true.
nearly.
Mm,
But which is okay. I mean, the whole industry in the renewable space or in the infrastructure space has seen the same kind of slowdown. So this was an unfortunate event, but it taught a lot of things to us in particular, because we were I mean, we last 15 years or 20 years were doing very traditional things. Like whenever we wanted to buy steel, for example, we used to
mm,
send out a RFP and get three steel vendors to come and visit us in office. And like customers used to call us during negotiations, unnecessarily make us wait for 2 hours in what is this rupee, that rupee. We used to do the same thing with our vendors. But
okay.
fortunately for us, we learned a lot of new things, and we have changed our systems in the company to kind of do e-auctions or reverse
Oh,
bidding or whatever for our procurement systems at least. So we learned a lot of things, and one thing one should do is change. You can't keep on doing the same thing again and again after such an important lesson
right.
event which happened.
Good.
So yeah, it was different.
Right. And do you see kind of now the cash flow cycle definitely will get stretched, but would you see a pipeline of orders, say for 3 months, 6 months down the line, and maybe running at a little bit slower pace?
Yes,
Do you see that is
so
something that is
yeah. So for a company which makes products and sells only in India, it will be a tough challenge to overcome. For a company like ours, which just before the pandemic, 6 months before the pandemic, started exploring international markets, we are seeing a bit of traction internationally, where the virus effect is now much better than what it is in India. So it's a much not better. It is a much more. The
lesser?
situation is much better.
Okay.
So exploring international markets was a good idea, which I feel everybody should spread their risks around. Should not just concentrate only on one market. So that was a good learning for us to go out international much more aggressively and quickly.
Excellent. And if I may ask this, if you want to be the first one in now globally, you're around 10, right?
Yeah.
Uh, what is that you think you would do in coming days, and what is some of it? Has it got built in these 3 months? Some ideas, some because 3 months you might have got focused time to
Yeah.
really brainstorm, right?
Yeah. So one thing which we, I mean, knew at the back of our minds, but which we have decided to do is to get in a strategic partner with us to scale
Okay.
globally. Because otherwise, to go from a 200, 400 megawatt per year kind of company to 10 gigawatt a year kind of company is a multiple jump. It's like a 100x jump in terms of revenue or something like that, which is
Hmm.
achievable because we have the technology. But to get to that scale in terms of cash flows and finance, it's a different ballgame. And like I said, we are not the best in finance, so we need to have a partner who will be interested in taking this journey with us. So that is something which we'll explore now in the next 6 months.
Okay. Good. Another dimension, a little bit getting to personal traits.
Yeah.
I am hearing you as a naive, straightforward, and very humble person.
Thank
And
you.
in business, in business, you have to be extremely shrewd and at times, witty. At times, going roundaways also. So how do you manage yourself to be, so much kind of clean in your mind? I feel that it is definitely a trait.
So, I mean, I don't know how we managed. It's just we have managed. I don't know how we have managed, but it's just something which has happened. I mean, doing business in India is very easy or very hard. And many of my friends outside say, "How can you do business in India?" Yeah, I mean, you have to be very clear with your clients, with your suppliers, vendors. If, for example, in this pandemic, payment cycles are totally disrupted.
Right.
So we have to be very clear with our vendors, whom will face delays in payments from us because we haven't got payments from our clients. And as long as you're open and clear, I think, I mean, we share very good relationships with most of our customers and suppliers in the last 28 years. There hasn't been a problem.
Good, good. So if we look back for Shailesh back in college days, third year or fourth year, uh, and Shailesh right now, what would that younger Shailesh ask the current Shailesh? You have done this, you have achieved this, you have not done this. Something that you have achieved or not achieved, still to be achieved.
So I don't know what a younger Shailesh would tell an older Shailesh.
Okay.
I would tell that younger Shailesh that I have done everything and nothing which I don't regret. So I don't have any a single
Wow.
moment in the last 25 years. And I know I made like 100 mistakes in all the businesses, but I still don't regret any of them. I mean, those had to be done to get to where we are right now. So mistakes are okay. I mean, I don't know what the younger guy would have told the
Right.
elder guy because I mean, with 25 years, mine and Kiran's plans were tomorrow. What are we going to do? That's it. It was not a 30-year plan or a 20. It's impossible to do for an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So, I mean, frankly, we were not that worried also whether we would succeed because out of college, there's nothing to lose, right? You don't have responsibilities, you don't have any EMIs going out, your lifestyle is pretty decent coming
Mhm.
from regular middle class households. You
Mhm.
don't have great expenses that you're doing. So, what's the harm in doing R&D with business? There's no problem. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's anything which the younger guy would have told the elder guy.
Super.
Elder guy would have definitely said, "No worries, everything was good."
And is there something that Shailesh wants to further achieve? I'll prove this point. I'll be top in this, top in that. Do this, prove this in India. Something of that sort that you have as a aspiration.
No, I mean, I don't have a particular single aspiration. I would just like to be, or I would like Scorpius to be seen as a company which proves that good technology can be developed in India and it can be made into a global technology. Personal level, there's no aspiration to do anything in particular. It's just that this company should do well, and all the people who are working with the company should reach some pretty decent level in their lives.
Superb.
Otherwise, there's no aspiration as such.
Right, right.
It's all good.
Excellent, excellent. And any space, any kind of specific vertical that you want to see more research happening from your side, more of innovations, inventions that you see that we need to dabble into. Maybe you will put some more thoughts, some more focus moving forward.
So battery storage is a very important area which
Ah,
our industry continues to ignore right now. We still like getting batteries or these lithium-ion cells from China, but
mhm.
there's a tremendous requirement which is going to come up from 2021 for storage. So in electrical vehicles, in battery charging, EV charging, in off-grid solar. So villages being powered by small solar systems instead of a centralized 1,000 megawatt plant. You need to have 2 megawatt plants distributed across the state, for example, and power for night. So batteries and storage to be will be the technologies to be looked at, which I don't think there's a lot of work in ground research happening. We're still just buying whatever China is selling us in these two areas.
Mm.
That's one area, I think.
Superb, superb. I think it's where I'm talking to you, and it's a reflection of optimistic person, not being bothered about things going right or wrong
Yeah.
eventually. Uh, but इसका राज क्या है? I mean, where do you get this positivity? Uh, you know, Carefree, I would call it as a carefree. Though you've achieved what maybe one of the top 10 companies in the world. but it is reflecting out. Ki, you must be actually having some different DNA or something that you are eating differently.
I eat everything, so I don't know. But I don't know, Raj kya hai? I remember when I was in school, there used to be these Archie's kind of shops, and they used to sell these name plate thing kind of things. And there was one of those things hung up on the top of my fridge, and that used to say, "You can't change the past, but you can ruin a very good present by worrying about the future." So I used to read that day in and day out, coming and going, and somehow that has got imbibed in the way I have been conducting all these businesses. So I think I just in the last 25 years, I don't remember getting angry or upset or
Wow.
whatever. And some people think, itna situation tense hai, this guy should be more concerned about us. Some customers might say, itna tense chalu hai, but I'm not. I mean, if there is everything which can be done, I always do. There's nothing, it never happens that something can be done, I'm not doing, and that's why I'm not worried. That's not the case. So, and whatever is possible, whatever can be done, we do. But if something is beyond our control, just getting worried or angrier about it doesn't help at all. So what's the point? So that is the philosophy which I believe I live by.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think that's amazing thing, and actually it is clear that we complete our responsibility. So I think karmane
Yeah, we
vardika
complete our
is something that
right.
I will do whatever I am capable of,
Yes,
and eventually I'll leave it for the others to
yes,
be done by and decided by. Wonderful.
very true.
Any personal role model that you have that you follow as individual, or something from history, or something that you get aspire, you read back those books?
So I don't have one particular role model which I follow, but I have read a lot of books in the last 25 years. Right from college time, we used to love reading books.
Mm.
So a lot of small things to be picked up from books, the way they have written things about their experiences, about management, about thrillers, about whatever drama, whatever. So a lot of good books have helped a lot in defining the way we have conducted ourselves. If you ask me role models in history, I don't have anybody
Mhm.
which I would call it, because whatever you have done has been pretty weird and new. So there's no single path which we have, you know, उसने ये किया था, that's why we did this or something like that.
Superb. Good, good. Anything from the movies that you think that resonates, like from movies, say Kung Fu Panda? People say that there is no accident. Everything is something that is decided. Do you carry kind of correlation with any movies?
Movies, I like the movie Godfather a lot
Godfather, okay.
because the main guy is always solving problems very calmly. He never gets angry or ruffled or whatever.
क्या
So
बात है?
that's again going back to the same thing, that no point in getting angry about anything or unnecessarily upset or tense. This lockdown period caused a lot of internal worries and strife to many people sitting at home. But I mean, I really enjoyed these 3 months because otherwise I travel quite a lot. I am nearly 3 weeks in a month outside India or Pune at least.
Hmm.
And this suddenly to from all that travel to sit at home for 3 months, I some people whom I know thought I would get crazy, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, being at home, working, not doing anything, lazing around, why not? What else do you want? That's what we are working for finally.
I think it's a boon time to really spend time with yourself, introspecting, as well as time with family and whatever leisure that you wanted to do. I think maybe reading
Yeah,
book.
very true.
It's it's amazing.
Yeah.
Uh, I think circling back and looking at any message that you want to give. So you have been been there, done that, been a successful entrepreneur, and always on the move to do something innovative daily, maybe a couple of ideas, and would be definitely inspiration for folks, not only the student side but also people around. But any kind of message that you want to give to the community who are looking at this situation a little bit lull.
I would only say that normally we tend to avoid any decision or in any decision making, tend to avoid situations where we would look back and say, I would have done that, could have done that, or should have done that. You should just do whatever you want to do and not feel bad about it later. It's just a learning thing which will happen. But this would have, could have, should have are very bad words, which I think Really, people use them a lot. अरे ये करना चाहिए था, वो करना चाहिए. Okay, ठीक है, you did it, move on now. So don't feel bad about it and don't cry about it. So that is can be done in personal life as well as people who want to do business or new ventures or whatever.
I think
It's something you have to live up to and own up to whatever you've done and move on.
I think that's very, in a very smiling way, you've given a very no nonsense kind of a message that, stick to your point, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't
Own up to it.
own it up. Don't, go around the bush.
Yeah.
If it is yours, do it. And I think
Yeah.
that's the same message that you were giving, where you said that it's buck stops at me. I'm the one who is going to solve the problem. I think that's coming out very strongly. Anything that you want to say as a conclusion, Shailesh?
I think it was very nice talking to you. I don't have anything to say on my journey, but I think this format which I got is wonderful. And I mean, initially when we decided to speak, I thought it will be purely technology or something, but all the other aspects we touched upon are pretty interesting. I'll love to see all the other speakers also talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was wonderful. I never wanted to stop talking. I think, Shailesh, it is marvelous to talk to you, look at your journey, and there is a lot of messaging in what you've shared with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Wonderful. And all our best wishes to you, your personal and professional life, as well as Scorpius. May it become the world top. And I
Thank you.
would say that's not the end of it. You might exit it, might not exit it, or you might have some more ventures to happen to come. And I think world is waiting for that, Shailesh.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं.
बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है.
सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं. स्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन.